Welcome to Stirred Up.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Heather.
We're two Midwest corporate pros and moms juggling boardrooms by day and ballparks by night.
But here, it's happy hour, and we're trading conference rooms for craft beer. This season, expect more tea spilling and real talk.
About the important stuff and the bullshit that comes with it. This is our version of Girls Night Out.
And you're not just invited, you're our VIP. It's where we throw back, talk smack, and laugh until we pee.
Where we spill a little, spin a little, and overshare a lot.
Because the only rail we're staying on is the bar rail. So grab a drink, you little party animal.
And let's get this shit stirred up.
Are we ready?
I'm so ready.
I'm ready for the top of the house.
Okay.
And I'm ready to see where you take us.
Okay. Welcome to Stirred Up, boys and girls.
Welcome to Stirred Up. I'm Heather.
I'm Jessica.
Woohoo! This is our first recording. Fireball. Yay.
Let's tell them. Our first recording.
Since our summer break and our inching up to our year anniversary of the launch of Stirred Up.
Woohoo!
So that deserves a fireball at the top of the house.
That's a fireball. Oh, awesome. And a little change up. Are we gonna? We'll explain the change up when we get into the real tea. Then.
Yeah, we are evolving. I think the production end to end. So some of those surprises will continue to come. We're gonna evolve the format a little bit. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it'll be fun. And I think we have the first portion of the season launch, which by the time you listen to this, will be right after the 4th. No, right after Labor Day, which is, I think, September 4th. Mm-hmm. So the Thursday after the 4th. Mm-hmm. I think it's the 6th or something we looked.
Yeah,
so by the time that this will be airing, you'll expect, more of the same. And we're going to stir it the fuck up as we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we do.
Okay, I got some shit for you at the top of the house.
Okay.
First, we got a fireball.
Okay.
So cheers. I am in... When it comes to things that I'm really passionate about and that I really, really, really like to do, mm-hmm. I also find myself taking an incredibly long time to do them.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't just pick out paint.
Yeah.
I don't just get art for the wall, right?
And is it because you're indecisive or that is you haven't found the right thing?
I want it to be perfect.
Okay.
And I just don't think it's perfect.
Okay.
Or maybe I haven't had the mind share to make it perfect yet.
That's a creative mindset for sure.
So I'm coming to the point now with this rebirth and this regeneration of the show is like, okay, there's things I have to do from a out-of-home marketing perspective to help drive the show. Mm-hmm. Merch, restock up the stuff. We have I signed us up for a promotional deal, right, with dirt bikes. So I've got to get that shit done. So as part of that process, I want to have a couple different shirts that we can offer to the public, but also make part of our merch. But they also have to be reflective of your personality and my personality. Okay. So because I know you don't care about the details, but you do care about the details.
I care, but I trust you. That's what it more is.
We're going to have just some general shit that says Stirred Up with Heather and Jessica, and it's just going to be that.
And for the audience, like for the sake of the audience, because I do feel like I have to say this. I do care. I'm not as good at the creative aspect as Heather, so I trust Heather implicitly. And then sometimes, like, I don't have the perfectionism part of it. I'm just like, it's good enough, which is not true. Like, there needs to be a betterness.
Bethany Frankel said that about Alex Cooper and Call Her Daddy. From the moment I met her, from who she surrounded herself with, to how she approached and engaged us, to the tiny little things in her promo bag that I didn't give away, I actually kept. She's love her show. And that's like, okay, what is the customer experience? Yeah. We can't talk about brand sustainability and shit that fits right and then have merch that isn't top quality. Like, it just puts extra pressure on my
not a check the box. Yeah.
Okay. So I thought, okay, so you're just going to help me make decisions in this process so all of my creative ideas can come to life. Okay. So this is rapid fire. Okay. Don't think about the medium it's going to go on. So it could go on a billboard or a slut.
I'm supposed to think about how it makes me react.
Just react.
Just the statement.
Yes, like not me, itself. But you. Okay. Don't get it. Don't relate to the show. Just literally, you're not going to hurt my feelings. Okay. Here we go. Twat with a picture of a waffle.
Yes. feels super appropriate.
Okay. Earned it, period.
Yeah. Like a 5 out of 10. Like, I could play with that a little bit.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, also 5 out of 10. You also said last week when we met, you said
I don't like that you remember everything I say. Makes me nervous.
You said we can't get stupid. I can't remember what else there was.
I was really feeling it though. I was basically like,
You were right. The context, you were right.
we are fun.
Yeah.
But we lead also incredibly boring, professional, and at times home lives.
Yeah, totally. I do it all the time.
We don't wake up going, woo! And we can't. We have a responsibility to ourselves, our audience, and our families to be funny and be engaging and be ourselves, but also like not all the things we'd say between the two of us necessarily need to end up online because some of them are stupid.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
We can't get
That's
stupid.
a real human experience.
It's a real human experience. And we'll take you along on part of that journey.
Yeah. Because that's like the special sauce of showing up.
Right. We're going to continue to stay honest, which I think is a value of ours.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like not the whole freak flag doesn't need to be flying at all times. And we do not need to get stupid because we're not stupid people. We try not to make stupid decisions. We try not to surround ourselves with stupid people. Entirely. So can't get fucking stupid. We can be fun. Okay. We can be edgy. We can be stupid.
Give me more.
Okay. Crybaby Club.
Crybaby Club? It doesn't mean anything to us. To hear, the here and now.
Okay. I'm a golden retriever.
I mean, that's personal, so yeah.
Half pit, half retriever.
Oh my God. Oh, that's feisty. Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Odd duck.
Odd duck? Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Put a picture of your ducks on there.
Sorry for being late.
Okay. Very, very appropriate. Maybe an inside joke.
I love my dog.
Yeah.
Unhinged.
It doesn't feel personal. Everybody's unhinged.
Then we're definitely getting it.
Okay.
Unhinged. Start up with Heather and Jessica.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Sometimes the worst idea. You're right.
Once you put it alongside the
peanut butter spread that audience.
Yeah. Fair enough.
We don't give a shit what mental state you're in. Tune the fuck in.
Right, there you go.
We'll make you feel at least hopefully a little better.
We'll bring you along for that ride.
Right. Okay. Partial.
I like.
We listen and we mostly don't judge.
Makes sense. Like a 5 out of 10 again.
Okay, good. Okay.
Because we are kind of judging, right? We mostly don't judge.
We mostly don't. 0 fucks to give.
Yeah, I mean, that feels like my one-liner. Again, not terribly original.
Scan if you love the F word, which is a marketing ploy, which takes them to a QR code that goes to YouTube.
Yes.
Show us your tits, good. QR code. I'm kidding. Next episode, Jess gets raw.
But it's really just the wax boobies back there.
They look exceptionally happy on this one date night. Okay. FAAFO. FAAFO. Fuck around and find out.
Right. Mm-hmm. But it's not FAAFO. It's FAFO. Again, not terribly original. Very like...
Kakook. Kakuka-cha.
Yeah.
And then do it like where you spell it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Diagnosed and undiagnosed.
There you go, because one of us is and one of us isn't. That's funny. If we can get our all like with the logo in a clever way.
Yeah.
Okay.
My heart can't take it.
Achy, breaky heart. No, it doesn't resonate to me.
Stirring it up since 84, 86, 88, 90 with our logo on the back. Stirred, not shaken.
Cute. Especially in the right application.
Stirred spirits. All the tea, all the time.
That's kind of cute.
Clinker clothes.
Or like something in the stirred tea, like a stirred tea, not spiked tea.
Ruth. Period.
Ruth?
Ruth.
RGB,
baby.
Oh, yeah.
Ruth.
Okay.
Stirred up.
Oh, actually, that might be really appropriate for this season that we're entering into.
What's up, our little pot stirs?
Yeah.
What's up, daddy gang? What's up, pot stirs?
Okay.
What's up, you little pot stirs?
I was just like that. Just struck me.
What's in the fucking pot today, Jessica?
Got you some jumper cables because you like to start shit, or we like to stir shit, or I don't know. It feels like there's something along those lines.
Don't be confused with a pot liquor. It's a pot stir.
Okay.
Let's get busy.
Do we stir the pot?
Sometimes we have been recently. I think we're not. We also have to talk about that. If we're not pissing people off, even the people that we love, are we stirring the pot enough? But then, like, we don't have to have an opinion about everything either. So I'm really not here to make people mad either. I'm not. I'm here to be honest. I'm here to sort of speak my truth. I'm here to sort of help other people speak their truth.
But that is the thing. When we're speaking our truth and we're not afraid to fuck around, find out, stir up, like all the things, then inevitably it is going to ruffle some feathers. But at the end of the day, hopefully you love us and know us enough that you're along the ride and like trust us. And
and just know that this ride is fucking bumpy.
Yeah, we'll probably change our minds too.
If this is not a podcast where you want to get on and just go straight down the center, it's not happening.
Taking you for a ride.
Stern swearing, and now we're sweating.
No,
Midwest is fuck, which is super basic. I cried today, which is super basic, which is also super fucking relatable. And like I did. Jessica! Exclamation point. I know which one you like.
Yeah.
I know what I want to. Based on your emotional, like your physical, but you could have been.
And now you got me recorded and on the record.
Next time you have to tune in, she's not going to speak. She's going to go,
Yeah, I realized that I did have to show more. I had to, you know, for our audio. Yeah,
because I know. I know exactly what you like the best. Just based on
Which were they? Do a recap for me.
Depends on who we are. You like undiagnosed and diagnosed.
Yeah, that was clever.
Thank you. Hold on, let me guys scroll back up because I have a visual.
These are really good, Heather.
Thanks.
Really impressed.
I've been on. You like twat waffle.
Yeah.
You like I'm a golden retriever. You like half pet, half retriever.
Because all of these things too are like listener insider stuff.
Yep.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. I forgot this one. Don't fuck up my grass.
Yeah, don't fuck up. Do that because then I could buy it from Maddie because he's real big on his grass.
I like that. Scan if you love the F word you thought was clever from a marketing perspective.
And because
you like kakuka cha.
It's been a thread in our conversation too.
Correct. You like kakuka cha?
Yeah, I do. We can talk because we do talk about kakuka cha.
Kakuka cha. And then I was trying to do like
I call it a cooter.
Cooter. Peck.
I've been trying.
In Delgado,
I do have a little bit of an update on like talking to Peyton about this wild pivot into real
her privates
stuff.
and all the things.
Yeah, I have a whole system.
A chastity belt on that woman.
No, but you know how you're not supposed to call it like a pet name to your child, so that like you're supposed to call it a penis and a vagina.
We do.
I've always called mine a cooter.
Cooter's fine, just as long as she knows. Like if you're in public,
yeah, you can't say that.
It's kind of like saying. I think you can say cooter in public. I got a cooter. Right. My grandma used to call it a foo-foo.
I'm doing a little bit of both.
A fucking foo-foo.
I'm doing a little bit of both. When we
does
have
any woman alive with a vagina want her vagina to be foo-fooed? No, we do not.
Fuck that.
Fucking
man came up with that word.
Right.
No. So when we
have
had
my shoulders looking, sorry, by the way.
Very fire. I lifted weights. I did an arm workout today, hoping.
Looking like stealth. I can't tell you. Though when I saw you in your swimsuit pic from here up on the internet, you look very healthy and radiant.
You. Thank you.
Radiant.
I mean, I was on a boat, so
I was. Yeah, you could have rolled your ass onto that fucking beach and looked like a 10.
I posted it on TikTok, on my personal TikTok, as a blue dot with a boat, bitch. So
we'll talk about my unwanted belly fat here in a minute.
Oh, yeah, we all got it. Okay, so my update with Peyton and her, like, you know, talking serious talks. Because you gave me a very, like, you have to have that conversation. And then a listener followed up and was like, dude, yeah, like, what the fuck are you doing? And I kind of got a little bit of panic and, you know, went off the deep end and
sometimes my head a little drives action. I'm telling myself that. It is a survival skill.
It is.
Anxiety is a survival skill.
It is. That's how we evolved to be, like, useful creatures.
I've been reading a lot of that, and we can do hard things. Like, I have to stop looking at my anxiety as something to be scared about and be like, it's an intuition.
Yes.
Get it fucking together.
I think Oprah was like the first person to give me that aha. She talked about that. Anyways.
Also bow down.
Bow down. So I had like the aha moment while I was giving the kids a bath, and Peyton had been like calling up, they had been taking baths together. We recently separated that because it got too crazy. It did. Like they started to dump water and it's just, I can't keep both of them in
I'm
control.
going pulling each other's privates and you're going dump water.
Yeah. Like, no, they're not being weird. They're just dumping water like toddlers and young people do. Yes. Clay's just getting in his mischievous age.
I'll
and
tell you
then when I yell at him, he
I'll tell you
laughs.
my babysitting story when you're done with your story about Mike Smith one.
Well, I'll just keep it short because there's nothing more to say. But mostly just that, like, Peyton had been, like, calling out the fact that, like, Clay has a different part. Like, she knew that, whatever. So we had been discussing that. And then I asked her to wash her body and all in the general same conversation. And I had like this aha moment. I'm like, oh, this is a very applicable, like, I'm not pulling her aside in a weird, that was what I was worried about. Is I was going to make her freaked out by like,
I get it.
Having dinner. Like, where is the setting where this is an appropriate conversation? Right. So that's where I was like trying to make it natural.
You want to go get ice cream and talk about the word vagina?
Or like, don't let people touch you. That was the whole thing. So anyways, so I said, do you want me to wash you today, or do you want to wash your own body? Let her make that choice. And then, yeah.
You're fucking so smart.
Well, it was a process, but I had to get there. And then she chose to wash her own body. And so then while she was doing that, I said, you know, you have to make sure you get yourself here. And this is all the stuff we're talking about.
I tell Sissy, get up in there, girl. Got to get up in there.
I don't know if you really have to get up in there.
The boys, they say sack to crack. That's how you explain it to your little boy.
Okay, all right, thank you. I did not know
sack to crack. You gotta get up underneath there, sack to crack.
I also feel like some of this is math job too, but
that's fucking also spot on. Stop using my conditioner to whack off. Same sort of thing. I can say it. I don't have a problem embarrassing him. I love my child though, so I'm gonna let you play wingman here for a minute, or pilot. I'll be wing woman.
Yeah. But like,
at some point,
Daddy's got to go have that conversation.
You want to yank on that thing? Close the door.
Go away.
Don't use the Redken, bitch.
Right, it's expensive, and your wanker doesn't need anything fancy.
No way. And no matter how expensive it is, don't get it in the tip. Would be a tip.
Mm-hmm. All facts. So, anyways, that's when I like gave her the download and said, you know, the whole speech. And then
What'd she do? What did her little face do? She's like so.
She was concerned a little bit. Like she was confused. She was confused.
Love her.
She was not in like a scary way that I was concerned at all, but she likes to really understand something. So she asked a lot of questions, and the way she looked at me was like really serious. So just answered her questions. I don't remember specifically what they were. And then ever since, like when it comes up, it's not every single bath, but like if it comes up, I just remind her, because then I also am reminding Clay a little bit, who looks at me like, like he's not engaged in any of the conversation unless there's tractors, monster trucks, or cars. So
yeah, let's talk about that. When Jessica and I went down with time with our children, and we were just trying to have one beer interrupted with children that were like literally like 15 to 2, and we're like, here, have a stuffing. Shut up.
Can I tell the seagull story?
Jessica apparently panicked, and I completely missed it. I didn't know what I was doing.
Here's what happened.
What was I doing? My daughter saw the whole thing.
You were like checking out, so you were the last person out of the store. So downtown Midland closed for like the streets closed for the commons, and you eat and drink, and
also you all looked real friendly. You all looked real friendly when we were down there. Just want to say
everybody looked friendly.
Shout out to Joyful Tantrum. Shout out to Joyful Tantrum.
Oh yeah, fabulous. Well, okay, I spent like all my money there. Okay,
we're broke now.
This is what happened though. So I went in to get pizza baker. Fabulous pizza.
Shout out to Pizza Baker.
But it comes out not in a box, which is totally fine. But it comes out on like a tray, and they served it to us, which was really nice. I expected to have to go in and get it. Like all this stuff was really great. But while we were waiting, I was kind of holding down the fort, waiting for the pizza. And you said, I'll go take the kids in shopping. And Joyful Tantrum and Serendipity are combined. So it's like a whole shopping experience. Lovely. Again.
Does not stress me out at all either, by the way. Like, it's a toy store. Play with the shit. So I felt like if I was a mother and my children were your children's age, I would have not enjoyed that experience. Not whatsoever. I loved it because they weren't my fucking kids. And I was like, what's the worst things we're going to have? We're going to have a fucking toy truck for $46? Fuck it.
Yeah. No, I didn't have fun, by the way. Because
I know you do worry about inconveniencing other people. Totally. I don't offer to do things if I don't want to do them.
Well, the pizza was in front of me, and I started to eat it, and I'm like, I need to save some of this for my kids, and my kids had been begging for pizza. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go grab them. Like, nobody's going to fuck with my pizza. I'm within eyesight. Like, it's a city street across the road. So, like, nobody's going to fuck with it. It's fine. We're in Midland, and I can see it, and we're real quick. So I just popped my head into the store, and I was like, hey, guys, if you want your pizza, it's ready.
You did? I didn't even,
Yeah, if you want your pizza, it's right. Yeah, you were checking out. Yeah. So yeah, Liv saw that, and then Peyton had been holding onto your dog, like service dog. So I was like, can she take the dog? She's coming with the dog. You're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, we're going back for pizza. I step outside and there are
he was like
4 seagulls on the pizza. And I'm like, that's my pizza. But I screamed, no! Like, arms are up. And that reaction from my kids, both like Clay stopped in his shoes and kind of panicked. I don't know if he was crying, but he like totally froze as I'm running.
What is it with you in downtown? You're trying to get hit down there. Like,
I don't know. And then Peyton lets go of the dog. So then Brewer's running to some strangers and Peyton's freaking out and Clay is stopped. And I'm like, who do I get first? These seagulls? Like, do I go after the seagulls and save the pizza, which is the cause of the whole thing, and sacrifice my children and the dog? Do I get the dog because Peyton's responsible for this dog that's not ours, and I don't know if he's going to run away? Like, I don't know anything.
He will not run away.
Right? But, like,
I bet he was going after... Can I tell you something? When he was 100% going after?
What?
The birds.
No, they're a different direction. That's why it was a panic. Like, if he was going after the seagulls, I would have been like, get on, Brewer! No, he's going a different direction. Like, I had to make choices. These people,
Where'd
I don't know.
Where'd P go?
She was behind me running, and then Clay just started crying. It's fucking nuts. We did lose a slice of pizza.
We don't care. We ate it. I ate all but
no, I threw the slice away. There's no cheese on it. They like demolished the, and then I'm positive every single bird touched the rest of the pizza, and we did eat it.
I think we got worms.
I feel great. We would know by now.
Same. I feel great. I don't know if we'd know if we had worms by now. We had a worm situation in my house one time.
I think your butt itches.
Liv had pinworms. Her butt itched. Terrible.
Yeah, it's a common thing. It's a common thing.
But they said the way she was populated, by the time they actually come out, they've been in there for months. On God. So we're not going to know till October.
Okay, well, check in with us in October, guys.
So I think we need to start eating some activate. You can just go get pinworm medication, and if you don't have it,
are you
you'll just
really worried?
A little bit now that I think about it. Mm-hmm. I wasn't at the time. I'm not worried where I'm going to lose sleep, but it is a general data point for concern.
Okay.
And like I generally love illnesses that are spread as long as you're not immune compromised, right? So like if your kid pukes and I'm over, I'm not going to run home.
And what's the issue?
We're all going to puke.
Yeah. What's the issue?
Birds are nasty. They're fucking nasty little bitches.
No, I totally agree. I got fucking chickens.
I had ducks in the city, remember?
Yeah. Like
I also had chickens one time, but I didn't remember
you
them
have ducks in the city.
But I didn't have a rooster ever, so I never had to deal with.
It's not exclusive to roosters. You motherfucker. You just heard him.
It is exclusive to roosters.
Rooster's about to be rehomed.
I want to ask you another random question.
Okay.
What do you know about the Illuminati? I feel so old. Bennett keeps referring to all these people as part of the Illuminati and why LA burnt down, and like a little bit I get it's related to Diddy and it's separate but together. But like, do you know anything about the Illuminati and like these these like Beyonce and like all these people are part of the Illuminati, and basically like my son and the alike have canceled these people. Like if I turn Beyonce, Jay-Z, like any of these Illuminati people on, I'm just exclusively.
They're like out. No.
Do you know nothing? I know nothing.
Yeah, I don't know anything. If I'm going to sum it, I feel like there was always these American historical secret societies, and now as an adult, I guess that you're probing it, it makes me ask questions like, why did we need to have secret societies? Secret societies 100% do exist.
Absolutely.
Largely they exist in Washington.
Some of your top Washington, your top universities, all the places.
Exist. Well, I actually think they exist in top universities for the sake of lore and exclusivity, in the same way that you have
How does lore and exclusivity feed into the government?
Well, they have different purposes.
Brown feeds into that. Columbia feeds.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you. But I think part of it at universities is why does sororities exist? Why do fraternities exist? There's not
They say it's for network and brotherhood and sisterhood.
But then why would they have to be secret? There's more to it. There always is.
Okay. So that's your takeaway.
So, I mean, so the takeaway is I don't know. And that's the point, is you don't, nobody really knows for sure.
The pop culture, what they call the Illuminati.
Oh.
These kids.
What's
an Illuminati
you're saying
theory
what's the conspiracy
TikTok.
theory? I don't know. No, I don't know.
I don't either. To be continued on that one.
Okay, hey, that's a listener request. Fill us in.
Okay.
Send us a message, DM, comment, whatever.
Smart. What the fuck is the Illuminati? Like, if any children listen to this,
we want to circle back.
We want to know. We want to know what this modern Illuminati is about.
Yeah.
Also, most red dot thing you saw over the 4th of July. Mine would be someone using a gas grill inside of their mobile home, which was hooked up to a shed, and God bless them. Like, I'm really not judging their living accommodations. I am judging your choice of using a grill in your home. Period. So I get it.
I mean, okay, like, to be provocative here, what's the difference between a gas grill in your home and a gas stove in your home?
Well, I think it was actually a charcoal grill.
Oh, so there was an open flame, uncontrolled open flame.
In a home with a baby in a shed that's like hooked up to the, you know what I mean? There was a whole...
That's so fucked up.
It was
smoke.
It was a whole thing.
Okay. All right. And where did you see that? Why were you...
Also, the amount of Confederate flags that I saw at the lake on 4th of July was wild to me. Well, going up to my parents' lake house, they just removed Joe Biden. He was like one of those like wax figure dummy wrestling guys that they put in a suit and hung from a person's front yard.
Okay.
He'd been hanging there since Joe won the first election.
Okay.
From a noose.
Oh, shit. Okay.
With the Confederate flag. So that's where we're at, right? Okay.
So we're just level setting here.
Fuck. We are really not allowing ourselves to be censored. Fine. Whatever. But now he's down because the Donald is back in office.
Oh, okay. So there's no need for
the lynching.
Sure.
Anymore.
Right. That tracks.
Because we got our way. And that's with anybody, though. Both sides. Like, if I get my way, I'll be fine. It's like, there has to be some sort of compromise, everyone.
100%. But you can't be like
compromise.
Trying to hang a person.
I want everyone to pray for reason. Like, sound values, which I think drive sound reason. If you don't have any values, start with like, find someone that you feel like tells the truth and spend more time with them. Start there.
That was an interview I listened to today that was basically like, our global society has like fucked around and found out like we've been having too much fun since the world order of World War II, and everything's about to fall apart because people don't and I don't necessarily agree with this, but I'm like understanding how he's gotten to this point. It's Eric Weinstein. So like, you know, whatever. I'm dabbling in conversations here, listening to them.
It's all part of the experience if you're just tuning into season 2. We make shit up as we go along, and it's generally rooted in fact or some sort of curiosity.
Well, at least in this case, yeah, totally. This is for sure curious. Fact, yeah. I get how he got there, but he's like, more people. He doesn't believe in God, but he thinks more people need to. So he's he's like above other people. That's kind of how I got that. Like, he doesn't need to, but other people need to. Okay, well, whatever. So he had me like a little head cocked there. And then...
That's a strange thing to say.
It is.
Like, the only way you can get values and integrity and morals and all the things is if you believe in God.
Yeah, and like one of the examples that he gave was that like now women can just...
I will question you on something though, while you're thinking through it critically. Not questioning you on air or like, but I'm questioning you in terms of like something greater. If this is it, and when we close our eyes, the lights are out for you, for the babies, for whomever that lives on this earth, why not just live recklessly?
That is his exact point. He's like, now women are testing the opportunity cost of not going on OnlyFans. And as that's like a gross idea. I'm like, well,
what's the point of teaching your children to be... I mean, even some of the people, like, what is John Daly? He doesn't believe in God. Alexa, is John Daly
atheist?
Atheist.
Can you repeat your question?
Alexa, is John Daly an atheist?
Sorry, I don't have an answer.
No, wrong person. He's a Democrat.
Yeah, I know. But
he did a show for a really long time.
Oh, the person you're talking about, the Democrat.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, he's someone that I think you would respect from a news, political, perhaps, point of view. I forget who he is. We can look him up after the show. And he was basically, I don't believe in God. Like, I just don't. Like, I think it's a fantasy fairy tale to keep people he
In
believes
order.
in order.
Yeah.
And when lights out are
That's
lights
what
out.
I think Eric Weinstein's saying. But his point of view is like, we need that because we need to keep people in order, and we need people to have the fear of the wrath of God, or they're going to nuke people, or they're going to. Like, they think, yeah, I don't know, whatever. And I don't know, how did we get here? Most redneck
I would tend to agree that, like, I do believe in God and in Jesus. And I do believe that how we spend this life is a measure on how we spend the next. And I believe that in faith. And I believe, but in fact, the factual side to me says if I don't have that, then what holds me on to this? So take it for what it's worth.
And for me, like,
why not raise dicks?
Goodness of one another.
Who cares?
I don't need like somebody to hold me accountable.
Is this great that we're...
I want you to think I'm a good person. I want somebody to think I'm a good person because my role in society relies on, like, my value in society and my ability to function in society. And
that's where the Bible's different. You live for others, not for oneself.
Yeah.
It's the difference.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just reverse that.
I know.
You're not doing
but I think
anything for self-fulfillment. It's all for
someone else.
Not how you're seen in society, but truly what you can do for others.
Such a funny state and play of affairs today. But
you know
anyways, most redneck thing I saw over the 4th of July.
I guarantee there was Bud Light, boats, booze, bonfires, probably some questionable firework exercises.
So there was a pontoon on the lake that said beer and titties on the side.
Fucking 10 out of 10.
I know, we parked by them at the. It was called P Island, but now it's called the beach because the lake is gone.
You pulled up and they're like, the full party's here.
And Clay kept watching. Like, I think he could read or something. Like, he was waiting.
Was there some ladies out? Like, ladies fully out?
We saw some like cute booty pics. Like, they were doing, TikToks or Instagram. So the girls sat on the back of the boat. And I hope they hear this because we're like close enough in proximity that there's no way. There's a good way that they could have, but they sat on the back of the boat, and then they had like red bathing suits on, I think, or whatever. It's 4th of July, and they put a girl had blue glitter and put like her blue glitter handprint on like two girls' ass, like one on each side. It was very cute, and then like she had her hands in the pic, like it was very cute.
Fuck it.
But they were all like so well behaved. Oh, this was pretty redneck. Okay, it's not the first time I've seen this, so I nearly forgot. But there was an airboat, and the airboat sounds like a monster truck. So Clay was like, "Where is the monster truck?" We had to explain what this is all about. The thing about airboats is they sound really loud, but they don't go really fast. But the thing is, so
I don't like that.
Yeah, like I expect more.
I don't like loud either. I have a hard time with that.
I like the way it feels in my chest, like the vibration.
Okay.
But we weren't that close. Like he kind of came close, but I didn't have the whole like monster truck vibration feeling that you do, or like when you go to the racetrack. But he did kind of like drive around a little bit. They're there for attention. You know what I mean? Like an airboat is so loud.
What kind of psychopaths like their chest to vibrate? I don't like even the races I've been to one time. That's a different level for me. That's interesting that you like that.
Yeah. I like the race. Like I love a NASCAR race for that. I love like motocross for that.
That makes sense. I guess racing makes sense. You grew up doing that.
Yes, maybe
Your
sentimental.
family. Yeah.
Most of my life. So then I thought it was pretty impressive. I'd never seen this like in real life. He took the airboat and then drove on the beach and like parked it and did bro stuff. Whatever, like shotgun beer, probably, like, I don't know. He was down the way a little bit. But then when he was ready to rock and roll, he got back on the airboat and like brapped his way out of there and got out when he was done. And I'd never seen an airboat on the beach before. So that was pretty fucking redneck.
Very cool.
Before we tap into the real tea, we've got a message from a new sponsor and a personal friend of mine, leadership coach Lisa Tarkington. Every single one of us can reflect on a time where they might have felt in a season of transition or feeling stuck trying to get to the next level of leadership and career development, perhaps shifting from a tactical execution to true strategic leadership. That leap can feel overwhelming and sometimes really frustrating, but you don't have to do it alone. So what Lisa does is she helps people that maybe feel stuck. Maybe they're battling from some self-doubt or just wishing they had stronger communication, wishing someone understood them the way that they're trying to convey themselves in certain areas of key leadership skills. Many people, including myself, don't realize that actually a coach is the one that can help you get to that next level. So Lisa is a personal friend of mine, and I've gotten to watch her journey helping people in all aspects of life, overcoming some of those skills that prevent each and every one of us from getting to the next level in our career is what she excels in identifying and then overcoming. She's done it herself, and now she's in the business of coaching others. So Lisa is an adventurer at heart. She's a guide by design. She's a certified coach through the International Coaching Federation with both corporate and entrepreneurial experience. She's going to put you first in guiding you to meet your goals and step fully into the leader you're meant to be. Here's the thing. Coaching works. 80% of the people who coach do report increased self-confidence that help them get to that next level. Over 70 benefit from that improved performance and stronger communication. The results do come through. Thousands of leaders have already grown through Lisa's coaching and workshops, and now it's your turn. So here's how you can find out. Head to lisatarkington.com/coaching and get your free consultation. When you talk to her, let her know that Jessica sent you or mention the podcast. Again, that's lisatarkington.com/coaching, because leadership isn't about getting things done. It's about becoming the leader you're meant to be. Okay.
Welcome to the Realty.
Welcome to the Realty. A little change up today.
We'll change up.
Yeah. We're going to talk about like pivotal moments in women's history, but not for the sake of women's history. The angle that I took in research from like where we were at in brainstorming was sort of like economic empowerment, property rights, like personal independence. How did we get here? I did some factual research, but actually more what I want us to do is also like when we get to particularly present day, I want to just like throw some history like angles that I think are really interesting, but then talk about like where we are, where are we going with our personal reflection. A lot more like reflection on it than anything else even. So starting with reflection.
We're going to the Realty. Starting with reflection. Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember explicitly, so I graduated from college when Bennett was like right upon his first birthday. So I was pregnant through college, had him, and finished my senior year with a 1-year-old. And I remember this whole time I worked at Oscar's downtown. I fucking loved being a waitress. You know that. You know that my dream job would be working a counter, working a cashier. Like, you know that. I love that. It wouldn't bother me to do that all day long. I really loved my job at Oscar's. So my main goal in life was to be a beer rep. I will not out the company name because that outs the family name, but I wouldn't even out it in a way where I don't feel like they don't have the values and the integrity and the whatever. I think it was a slip in something. I always wanted to work at
we're not outing them.
Well, we can beep it.
Okay.
And all through college, because I would watch them come in. They had a company car. They had a company phone. They went to bars. They, didn't stock things. We had stockers, right? You had the drivers that would stock the coolers. You did the promos. You hung out at night and did the parties. That's what I saw. So, because I was working, I was waitressing. So that was my dream job. So right out of college, I get a job at the Loon Stadium, did some suite level planning. Great experience there. Way too many hours for a young mother during homestands, 70, 80 hour homestand weeks.
Crazy.
All summer long. And so I left shortly after to go work at and my job was a beer rep. I had a big territory. I had all of Mount Pleasant, which was like the Bird, and like all of the places were part of my route. Like I had a dream route. Well, part of that part of that territory was like a ton of grocery stores and a ton of convenience stores.
Yeah, like my dad.
Like So many. But my job truly consisted of, well, the tap handles and the mirrors and the promotional signs and the occasional St. Patrick's Day were a part of the role. 90% of the pie
It's also sort of like
was counting what was left from last week and placing a reorder for the following week. Yeah. So you looked at data over what they sold over last 4th of July. Like, it was literally counting in coolers every day, all day. And I literally were thinking, being really depressed and thinking, I went to college for this.
Uh-huh.
So at that time, they also were trying, 5-hour energies were going crazy. They were like, when it started when the counter craze, like when the counter became the racetrack, the modern day racetrack, we called racetrack and retail, like the main aisle.
Yeah.
So the counter was becoming the racetrack. So it's where you sold the candy bars, 2 for $1. Totally. It's where you see the 5-hour energies. It's where you see the seasonal items.
Fireball at the bar, the stores that we go to.
Right? Like, it's just all over the counter. And they wanted us to sell, it literally looked like a 5 energy type product, from the packaging to the liquid inside of it. But it was a Playboy brand, and it was as a libido enhancer.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I was 23 years old at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I signed on as a college-educated woman at the top of her class, whatever, to learn about marketing and sales and promotion.
And now
even
you're pushing libido enhancers.
And now you're going to give me an extra $50 for every fucking counter case I sell all of this. And not only that, my competition is beating me, and you're talking about it in team meetings because they're going to porn shops on their way from Mount Pleasant to Midland.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm 40 now, so I can say this. You know, I don't walk into a room and expect everyone to, like, turn their head and look at me. But I wasn't bad to look at 23 years old either.
Right.
So, and I'm a young woman, so I don't actually think if it had anything to do with my looks. I think if you got a hole and, like, a half of a pair of tits, people are just generally inappropriate. Yeah. Meaning males. Not generally, like, data driven.
Right.
And I remember calling, so it was bad enough when I had to go to, like, my grocery store route and try to push this. Like, this people I'm trying to see me as a professional. Yeah. Right? Hey, please get Bud Light Lime because it's a new promo, and I'm telling you it's going to be a hit of the summer. And if I get this placement, I'll give you a spiff, and that's part of my job while I'm counting. And on the side, you want me to fucking hoe myself out for libido enhancers? Are you asking the men to do this? I don't know. Maybe they were. I don't know. I was new. I was 23, right? Maybe 24. What the fuck? And I remember calling my dad, and I remember it's still one of my husband's favorite SNL skits, so that's how I explain it to my husband, knowing that I'm a boozy bitch and I like nice things. And I had a baby, and I was pregnant, and how I got out of that job is I got the swine flu when I was pregnant with Reeve, and had to take a week off, and during that time my Dow Corning job pulled through from a fabulous lady I met through the Loons when I was a suite level event planner, and Dow Corning had a suite. Yeah. So I was super sick, but also got a job offer at the time of being super sick. But I remember calling my dad and telling my husband, I don't give a fuck if I have to live in a van down by a river.
Yeah, you're literally not.
I will not whore myself out. I hated this job when I was counting in the cold. Now I really fucking hate this job. Yeah. And I don't mean to say better than this, but fucking better than this.
Yeah,
I'm not suited for it.
Your values are better.
It does not align with my values. Yeah. I'm sorry. And $50 was a lot and I gave up a big job. I mean, it was, at the time, it was probably
like working
$45,000 a year, a free car, a free gas card, no mileage, and a cell phone. So that's $20,000 right there, living in the Midwest, of having all of no insurance, nothing.
Oh, so you took a salary decrease to go to the next job from?
My shift from, I would say, Oscars to my first 2 jobs out of college. On a cash basis, I lost money.
Yeah, I did too when I was working in college.
Because I would make on an average like $250 a day shift, and this is 15, 20 years ago. And 180 of it was cash. So when you're making, let's say it was 40 at the time base plus the car, and like, let's say total package. We look at total package, right? It's not just what you're bringing home, but we look at total package around insurance, benefits. Right. Car insurance, gas at the time. I mean, you're talking, that's $10,000 or $15,000 more a year of an expense you don't have as a Midwesterner, right? So it was probably a $50,000 package. So I did take less money to go to Dow Corning. because I hired in as an administrative professional, even with a degree, because, you know, I graduated from college in 2007, 2008, 2008. And it was the peak. It was a recession, and everything was just...
we were still actually entering into...
Correct. So that was my story. So I was like, you know, I always thought at the time, did the men do that? Maybe they did. I would like one of them to call in and be like, yeah, I fucking sold that shit too, and it was awkward as fuck, or fuck it, separate yourself from the product. It just... as a young woman, the amount of comments that got thrown at me, today no one would probably dare say that to me. Yeah. I will look in my eyes like I will rip you apart with my fucking
fuck
soul.
You up.
But as a 24-year-old woman...
and you're selling. So I do think, like, there's a different... when you're in a selling position, I
could have said, yeah, daddy, order it, and I'll try it out on me. You know, I'm not doing that.
Right.
I'm not. So I'm not going to bite on your bullshit comment, therefore I'm not going to sell. Right? There's part of selling that's personality, and you're like...
yeah. And all of it needs to be professional. Am I going to get a real boner
from that? I don't know. Ask your wife. I don't know. Ask, you know...
try it and figure it out, but don't talk to me about it. Just buy more.
Don't use shampoo, use conditioner, bro. I don't know what to tell you. But, like, I wasn't interested.
Yeah. No.
I'm still not interested.
No.
I don't want to sell that.
No.
There's a lot of other things I'll fucking sell you.
There's interesting parallels. Because
libido enhancer, bro.
Right.
Actually, I should have fucking done. I would have been the best. I could have given the number one pharmaceutical rep for Viagra when it actually hit the market. I'd been like, my experience is Playboy Bunny, liquid IV type shots.
Yeah, liquid IV type shots.
That I sold to Dan the porn man shop.
Theo Von talks a lot about, like, he would take any sort of... he had so much anxiety that he would take any sort of, like...
so I hear about that. These boys
boner
these
fluid.
Days... boner fluid.
I don't know. He was taking all the grocery store stuff. He was your audience for that job.
Hey, Theo. I wasn't doing it. And, you know, I think... can you sacrifice your values along the way and then find them again? Yeah, but I don't think that comes at expense of, like, for me at least, a ton of self-pain. Like, inflicted...
Totally agree.
I don't need it. And
totally agree. I think the women of our history didn't have a whole lot of choices. So will be an interesting thing to reflect on. Very good point. And then in addition to that, when we finally, as a gender, collectively, when we finally did start to have choices, we come up against the fact that, like, okay, so we're given opportunities. That was an opportunity. You're being put against your male peers. You're receiving an experience that is probably unlike the others. And then when you do go to change your role, you actually have to take really like a setback, or you have to do the same amount of work for less money to enter into like a parallel career. And one of the researchers that I really admire, I think it was interesting that came out in the research, she called that greedy jobs. So there are greedy jobs that required more time. They're like finance and management and maybe even some of the tech stuff where women have a hard time breaking through because of the way that women entered the workforce over the past 60 years, realistically, when we go through their timeline, is that particularly if they are married, but then even if they're not, they're single with kids, they still have to make a choice. They're the caregivers, so they can't do the greedy, high-paying jobs. They can't even compete. So it exacerbates the pay inequality, like at a global level. And I also feel a little bit like even the story you told expresses that a little bit. Like you always have to take, not you, but like the women have to take a setback in order to maybe have it all, or like to have the sanity, have the like, you know what I mean?
For sure. And I actually think, I was thinking a little bit about my women professional and now personal friends. Mm-hmm. Some of my women friends in finance. All I see is bugs.
I see bugs. They just came in right now, like bad. Must be the time of the night.
Gotta be the time of the night. They work really, really hard in a lot of hours. I see men work just as hard. I wouldn't say I see a harder basis on sex. I will say there are less of them, So I think just by data and by experience and by like generally if you don't have an equal voice in the room, you generally have to work harder to get that voice. That's what I've observed. Especially to your point around rules that are genderized.
Yeah.
Genderized?
Right. Yeah. Gender stereotyped or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's some historical facts that are just like interesting context that I think I'll just kind of run through.
I love it.
We can
Give me
pause.
the facts. You know I love it.
Yeah, same. Like I think to be level set,
Go.
like between you and I and as an audience on
Some facts about the women.
The facts. And they debunked things that I thought I knew.
Oh.
So first thing that I thought I knew, I thought women didn't get like access to their own. I think I see this meme all the time and I think I reshare it. So I'm ready to like debunk this and put this back out into the world. But I think I have seen a million times that women couldn't have their own bank accounts until the 60s. And that's just factually, blatantly untrue. So women could have, like, as early as colonial America, before we were even a country, women could participate in the economy, including banking. The percentage of women that did participate was minimal. And for a lot of reasons, that was because you had to be a single woman. As soon as you became married, your property was his property. And you wouldn't work. Like, there was societal things. Much of it was societal stuff. But if you were single or if you were widowed, you could absolutely have a bank account. In your banking center, you would probably have a women's waiting lounge. Like, there was a separate place for women to participate in that world. But, like,
legally, you could.
Legally.
Was there requirements for getting a banking account that were different?
Probably. So you were not particular banks didn't have to honor. They could reject you for any reason. There were absolutely societal pressures, and that always depended, depending on your area. So if you even imagine colonial America or like that time, there would probably be small cities who, the banker and he knows the woman and he knows she's a good woman, so he's going to let her have that. But then if the next town over didn't like women at all, or you know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of nuance and a lot of localization. Authority led to the banker. There was no protection that required bankers to allow women to have bank accounts. But customarily, it was possible by and large.
But you gave up that right when you got married.
You gave up that right when you got married.
Which was expected. If you didn't get married, something was wrong with you. You had an arm growing out of your ass, basically, back.
Yeah, or a widowed situation was possible. Or various things of that nature, but basically, yeah, that's why it was by and large. Things actually regressed from there because when Queen Elizabeth from England became the queen, and I can probably have to reference the time, but it's in the 1700s, she had very big broad, and she had very outspoken beliefs that women needed to be the moral compass of the household, that women had domestic responsibilities and not societal responsibilities. She was very much about coming into a more conservative household, and that it's trad wife of its time, to be honest.
Okay.
So she started to voice these opinions. We, of course, this is the 1700s, so we are still, colonized America, still a part of England by and large. And even rich women could not have really their own identity in America or in Europe. So there just became an even more repression, mostly, again, not necessarily a legal perspective, but it became significantly more societally challenging for women to have a financial identity or to have their own independence at all whatsoever. Things changed 100 years later. So we go from 1700s to
way to move it along, America.
1848. This is where things again raised my eyebrows, things that I didn't know. So there's going to be two states, New York and California, within a couple of decades in proximity. So again, not rapid progression here, but New York passes the Married Women Property Act, which lets married women have property.
Her own, in her own name.
Yes. of their own name, and eventually many states copy. Again, California had another one. But here is what is tricky. It was actually centered around slavery as property, so she could have slaves. And that, like, also, especially if she was single and she got married, she could take those slaves with her. They were her slaves. So it was very much oriented, unfortunately, in the ownership of slavery. But the thing about United States law and as law works, precedence about language matters. So it became the precedence for women to have property eventually. So it does matter, but it's a really unfortunate and really sad history.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So 1862, that was 1848. So California became the first state to pass a law explicitly allowing women to open a bank account in their own names regardless of marital status. So 1862. So we talked...
Unlike 1960. 100 years before.
Yeah.
They missed the 8 and the 9.
In 1862, so a couple of decades after the New York state issuance, California explicitly says women can have bank accounts in their own name. It does not matter if they're married or not, which is a generally right of freedom. But yes, 100 years before, it's often stated in like popular memes. In 1862, Abe Lincoln also signed the Homestead Act. This was really confusing, and I might even cut it because I don't really know how much it relates to women, but it did allow, like, it was a weird little thing that, like, didn't require a male co-signer for a single woman to participate in home ownership.
That's important.
Yeah.
Buy your own shit.
I think the Homestead Act had this political play that they were giving freed slaves property ownership, but had all these loopholes that made it impossible for them to actually achieve it. And 99% of the 1.6 million Americans who benefited from the Homestead Act were all white families. I think like there's this whole thing around the Abe Lincoln Homestead Act that have a lot to do with like freeing blacks and giving them property, and it completely failed. But one of the like minor lines in it is that women do not need to have a male cosigner. Again, moving right along for another 100 years or so, more like 50 years. Late 1800s to the early 1900s was called the pink collar boom. So the typewriter was invented, and this is, yeah, I know.
So women got to work.
Kind of, because it became...
My mama was a transcriptionist for a while.
I can resonate with this.
70s.
When new technology
60s.
is introduced that levels the playing field...
Women do it.
Women do it. Yeah. So women have the opportunity to jump in, and that's what they did.
Men made it so good, all we needed to do was push buttons.
They didn't know how to use that. I mean, you even see it into like...
My dad still can't... He's smart. He can't use the fucking microwave. I'm not kidding you. It's upsetting for everyone, especially my mother. She gets so pissed. She's been yelling at him for 40 years, 50 years about the same shit.
So this is the job change like factor. Less than 4% of clerical jobs in 1874 were held by women, and 75% of them by 1990. So within like a matter of a generation.
They needed us to fuel the machine.
Mm-hmm. Office work paid better than factory work, which was compatible with also remaining unmarried.
Paid more, you said?
Yeah, office work did pay better than factory work, and societally it was compatible with remaining unmarried. So it had the benefit to women, like if you worked in a factory, you were kind of poo-pooed on, like it became an uphill battle. But then when office work was introduced, the typewriter was introduced, it was an even playing field in terms of like a learning curve. Like men had to learn it and women had to learn it. So it became an equal opportunity in some way. The office work did pay better than the factory work. So women were incentivized to like go after it in a way. And it was compatible with remaining unmarried. So it wasn't a huge skill to learn. Like you didn't have to go to college to learn how to use a typewriter. You could learn it on the job, which they did. But then because you didn't have an investment, it wasn't your identity when you were ready to start a family, you could walk away. So it created a mass class of wage earning women who could save and invest for the first time ever.
I was looking at recently, I'm just trying to provide some context for how far we are. So like I'm looking at like different, whether they're liberal or school where you don't have to actually declare a major to You don't actually have to apply to a college. You're just applying to the school. But from liberal arts colleges all the way down to colleges where you're actually applying to a college within the university, whether it's business college or whatever, arts or political science or whatever it may be. But what I guess my point is there is a rising number of women entering college. There is a rising number of women now applying to math and engineering, and typically schools that were male dominated. It'd be interesting by the time we wrap this all together of
like where
from to,
if
you will, in our business, how we used to like from to.
Right. Yeah. I do hope to, like, I think that that's going to be the philosophical discussion that is at hand. Okay. During the Great Depression, women entered the workforce as an added family buffer during hard times. So men went away to war. There was the Great Depression. There was labor shortages. So, like, the term used in research is sort of like the added worker effect. So married women's participation jumped from 10% to 25% in our age group, like 35 to 44-year-old, for about 20 years in that, like, that Great Depression era. Nearly 1 in 4 married women held jobs by 1945. So we went from, like...
1 in what?
1 in 4 married women held jobs by 1945.
So a quarter of the family.
Yeah, that's like the rosy, like the factory rosy era where you had like the visuals of women rolling up their sleeves.
Got it.
Many returned to then like lower paid service jobs after World War II ended and the men came home and wanted their jobs back.
Did the women want to give up their jobs?
I mean... I don't know. So...
I mean, we don't know.
We don't.
There's no data on that. No one fucking asked them. Shocking.
Yeah, probably. So, like, the theory is that at that time, your job wasn't a part of your identity. It was a thing you did to help, like, the pride of the country and the pride of what you're doing.
Like, I hope to fire that way. I don't use my job as a part of my identity anymore.
The GI Bill financed only male college boom, and social messaging pushed women back to the home. But the seed was planted, as they say. Society had seen mass married female employment and could not fully unsee it, as the story was wrote.
Until Reaganomics.
Yep, kind of close to...
Everyone says that Reagan was the reason everyone had to go to work. All the women.
So the 1950s became like the secondary worker, like women started to plan their like early and short-term careers. So they might have gone to college, but then when they started their family, this is like to my grandma.
Was to go to college to meet a man.
Yeah.
That's true and tried and true.
Or like my grandma did work after her kids were old enough.
My grandma did too. She stayed home for like 10 years. And then when my dad was like, or 6 years. Or
so that was super common, but they had to be female friendly. So 2/3 of the job growth is married women in that era. Female labor force participation climbed to 34%, from 34% to 46% in just in a 10-year span. 2/3 of that is married women, so that was kind of a big deal, but it's part-time school-hour jobs, telephone operators, secretary, elementary school teachers, nurses, feminine services. Not
operators.
Yeah, not what we would call feminine services today, not like OnlyFans. But feminine services.
We're still going to get us one of those. Jess and I are going to wiggle our toes.
Yeah. Those
$9.99 a minute.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, we don't know.
Not today. Anyways, they were expected to quit their careers whenever they had to take care of families. So again, like time horizon was relatively short, but the investment was in there. They had seen in the Great Depression and in World War II that like women had value and they stuck with that and that started to...
Value for what? In terms of productivity?
To the economy. Yeah.
It's like more than reproductivity, they could actually produce.
Yeah, and more than just like homemaking.
Beyond.
In your community. Like it doesn't have to be grand, but in your community. In the 1960s, I'm going to fuck him up. The FDA approves the oral contraceptive pill.
In the 60s, was it okay?
In the 60s.
Who was in presidency? Is that JFK? No.
No.
Ford?
Dwight Eisenhower. I liked him.
Yeah.
Like in my history research, I remember liking him.
Yeah, Eisenhower.
He's a fucking baller.
Baller. Shot collar. 20-inch blades.
On the Impala.
Something about getting laid tonight.
And they were getting laid tonight because the pill was invented and available for use.
Fuck freely.
It wasn't until the 80s where that age group was mature enough to enter the workforce in a meaningful way. So, but in the 1980s, the pill explains for up to 40% of the surge in female professional degrees, a measurable slice of lifetime earnings jumped in that cohort born after 1950. So anybody who was like within a reasonable age group.
Before we were just getting fucking pregnant and have to take care of people.
Right.
That's not fair.
And now it was within our control. We had the decision-making authority over whether or not we got pregnant. So that was meaningful. Another couple of things that I think you'll think is interesting. In 1969, no-fault divorce law in California. Again, the progressives in California.
Yeah, them fucking progressives out there. You hippies.
That spread nationwide by 1980. Again, let either spouse file for divorce without having to prove fault. So irreconcilable differences.
As we know them today.
Yes.
That don't mean you ain't gonna pay.
That mattered. Well, it mattered so you had your independence.
You didn't. He had to leave you, or you were stuck.
Correct. So, unilateral divorce raised married women's labor force participation and bargaining power. That economic pull that partially offset the cost of higher divorce rates for a period of time. So, the current divorce rate today, which was a 2022 number, was 2.4 divorces per 1,000 population, is down from its peak in 1980s. So the statistic that we had heard our entire lives growing up that I still think we hold on to is like 50% of marriages end in divorce is frankly not true. But it was way more true in the time where we were growing up than it is today.
There's way more divorces today.
No, way more divorces in the 1980s because they had ability to do it. They made...
What about today?
It's only 2.4 divorces per 1,000 population.
What? That's not true. Today?
Why?
We don't get divorced?
We're not getting divorced at the rate we used to.
Really? We stick it out?
Yeah. I don't think we're sticking it out. I think we're making better choices because we're delaying marriage. We're having babies later. Like, I think we're equipped.
Or we're getting married less.
Married less. All of the factors.
I need to know those data points.
Okay. Well, we can circle back. We can circle back. I didn't do a double click in divorce, to be honest.
You know what I'm saying?
It was the least of my worries.
I feel like people say, we've lost the family value.
But like, look at you and I sitting here with like...
we're not creating families to begin with? Because that would tell me we're... do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying?
I totally know what you're saying.
Don't tell me we've lost the family value if we're getting married and we're sticking it out for better, for the worse, just for like the Bible says.
RBG.
Or just we're not getting married and we're not having family units. I think that's what the data is trending towards. It's not only happening later, it's just frankly not happening at all. But we could also be being scared and panicked. Just because it's not happening by the time people are 30 doesn't mean it cannot not happen. Just because it used to happen. My grandma was 17.
All of these things. I think
was
it's
22.
Really, yeah, I
You
agree.
were 20, whatever. Now we're 32.
I was 31 when I
got married?
No, yeah, I was 22. When I got married. Yeah. But I was 31 when I had kids.
That's fucking young. That's insane to people.
It is insane to people.
If my children told me they wanted to get married at 22 like I did, I would be like, you're fucking insane.
But like modern day conservatives who are talking about family values don't actually care about, they do care about marriage, but it's not the metric they're looking for. They care about kids. Like they want families to have kids. Our birth rate is going down. Like I don't think people give as much.
What does family values mean?
That the princess wife stays silent and lets her husband order dinner for her, according to TikTok. Like the trad wife TikTok princess trad wife bullshit that like...
Look, we hear things, we've lost the family value. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
I know, we can contemplate it. I haven't put a lot of deep thought into it because...
But I will.
I can. I don't know if I want to, but...
I'll do it for us.
What probably people were talking about is that women could not have a credit card until on their own or like have credit on their own until 1974.
It's crazy.
Thank you, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yes, Ruth, period. See, that one was only but I think it's
This bans lenders from denying credit on the basis of sex or marital status.
That's right.
Gives me goosebumps.
Gives me goosebumps.
Because tickles
their fancies over here.
Because that was what, like, if you and I think about it, we couldn't even start a business without like half, I don't want to say half, but like a measure of our process here is that for at least like part of this is some of what we start up here is put on credit. Then we pay it off because we're not earning income from the business. Well, we pay it off on our own like investments that we do. If we get income from the business, we get to use that too, like at some point. But nobody's fronting us because that's, honest to God, not really what happens in women's business. Like women just don't get fronted is factually like as much as men do.
Yeah, if you want to front us to prove us wrong because you're a dude who's got a lot of money.
Yeah,
we don't want it.
And then if I just had like, if I just had the freedom to have a bank account, but I also can't work unless I'm married. Like if you think about the mechanics of that whole system, like it's not really helpful. And then if you want to invest in yourself and start a business, you couldn't if you didn't have the ability to access credit. So off my soapbox, but that was 1974.
Really interesting insights.
By 1981, women pass men in total bachelor's degree and flood professional degrees like law and all their professional degrees, finance, business management. That was the statistic we heard for, I think it was, so Costco, and then there was another Lululemon. They both saw that in 1981 in the newspaper and made business decisions based on it, and they're both fucking rich today. So, holla women. Okay, at this moment in history, this is the first phase in time. Women's identity is revolved around career and becomes a self-concept that measurably is making decisions around relocation, fertility, timing, and even spousal choice is negotiated around two-career households. This is the first time that's ever happened. So when we say like whether or not our identity is wrapped around our career, that era, that by measure, more women were making decisions about those things: relocation, fertility, spousal choice, and therefore defining like whether or not that matters for our identity. So women lead 55 of 500 biggest U.S. companies. That's only about 11%.
That's good though. We're getting there.
Okay. Women also own Women
10%.
I know. Women also own 1.36 million employer businesses, bringing in $2.1 trillion in revenue and employing 11.4 million people. That was in 2024. And then I just wanted to give you some context of 3 women who mattered in their eras. So in 1889, Anna Bissell of like Bissell Vacuum, Bissell Carpet, she's cited as America's first CEO. So 1889. I mean, she inherited it.
I was 5.
Like, no doubt.
I was 5.
1889. 1889. So
I'm not in 105. Feel like it.
But she clearly, she was
like
credited to that, what role she was. I mean, I didn't do research on her that we're at a capacity for like what we can consume here, and we can always ask questions and follow up. But like just as context, clearly she inherited it. Anna Bissell, she took over. 1972, Katharine Graham was the Washington Post first woman to run a Fortune 500 level firm, 1972. And then Ursula Burns of Xerox is the first black woman CEO of a Fortune 500 company.
When was that?
In 2009.
Wait. That was only 15 years ago.
In 2021, 74% of women worldwide held financial institution or mobile money accounts, and men were at 78%. So we're about equal. Like 74% of women and 78% of men have a bank account at a financial institution.
We don't know what the balance is.
No, but it's the narrowest gender gap on record in 2021. Okay.
We got to clap for progress.
Yeah. All right. So the philosophical point I want to leave you with, I don't have a whole lot of data here. At this point of like the era of today, I think you and I had like the business era of the lean in moment with Sheryl Sandberg, which was the book, who was like, you know, grab your seat, sit up at the table, lean in, participate. It was sort of a rallying cry for women to like
use their voice beyond pushing buttons.
Yeah, and go. Like, do it. You have power. Yeah, and
to take up space.
Totally, which was very powerful to me, no doubt. From girl boss to no boss, former girl bosses are leaning out in the New York Times. There's a term now called the power pause.
They're calling it the Great Recession of women.
Many women who are stepping
exit.
away from their leadership roles at large companies aren't stepping completely out of the workforce altogether. So 2021 was the highest percentage of women leaders leaving their companies in historical measure, but they were not necessarily leaving the workforce. The number of women who identify as a stay-at-home mom did grow 60%, but also the percentage of moms working part-time doubled. In 2024, 1 in 5 women said that they were considering taking a less demanding job.
For what? I mean, that's how I feel these days. Mm-hmm. For what?
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about, because I could name a dozen women.
So could I.
Yeah. I think I've made career choices. I have turned down job offers.
Same.
I don't know. It's an interesting place. So, like, in the context of the world.
So when they say go home, are we actually happier at home? Are they looking at the data and being like, because I do think
Talk to me about it. What do you think?
When I had 3 little kids, I was grateful for a job. Mm-hmm. Looking back, I wish I would have stayed home with them. So, like, I don't really know. I don't know. I know this. I don't identify as my career. I think
Did you at one point?
No. Not the people who really love me. They still can't tell you what I do. Nobody. Mm-hmm. So maybe in like this weird subset of people, maybe.
Did you get your value from your career?
I got value from productivity that the career allowed me to have. Now I'm seeing like sitting as productivity.
Right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I worked like 12 hours in the last 12 hours. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't want my identity to be my job. I also don't want to be married to my job. But I want it.
But you want to be able to produce high outcomes that, like, you want to generate value in.
But I'm not going to go and expect great wealth from giving a company. Mm-hmm. It's like expecting that I'm going to be Michael Jordan and drafted as. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, my chances of making $20 million working for a company are
out the door at this point.
Like, it's not happening.
Yeah.
It's also not my goal.
Yeah.
Now, do I value seated at the table? Do I value innovation? Do I value fun things? Do I value excitement? Do I value not sitting around? Do I value my brain? Mm-hmm. Like, how do I take all that energy and not lose it, but place it someplace else? Channel it. Do a really good job, a better than most job, but also, like, not fight for the next job. Like, just do really good and be, like, happy with where I'm at. Where I think 15 years ago, I was like, all right, I got this job. I got to do all of this so I can get the next one. I do not think in that context anymore.
Anymore. But I had done that.
Absolutely. We'd lie if I told you I didn't.
Right. No, same. Sometimes I have a hard time taking myself out of that, though. Like, I still think about, like, I think I was trained to think about career succession. Like, you're in this job for 2 jobs after that.
Yeah.
Like, how do you...
For what, though? 6 more grand? 7 more grand? Am I going to have access to smarter people? Am I going to have access to solving bigger problems?
That's a presumption.
Am I going to have access to more important decisions that are going to help more people? I'm here for that. And I'm here for that. And I'd work a shit ton for that. It's not about the zero for me anymore, but I also, like, the zero does become a matter because you give up a certain portion of self and time.
Right.
And so it's like, you do get pressure of why are you doing more
even if
for
you're
less?
giving up, because I actually think, like, I am getting value out of that exercise, but I have to commit a certain portion of my time. Like, it's not a flexible amount of time. It can be flexible, but it's really not. Like,
no.
Like, you still have to give a lot.
A lot.
You have to dedicate a lot. You're whatever. So it has to be an exchange of value. Okay, so one of the things I want to pick your brain about is, like, okay, we have a personal anecdotal, to and from. I think we were the generation that came out of that era, that was born in the 1980s, that bled into the 1990s, and, like, in the 2000s, I kind of think it did come to an end of, like, hustle the fuck out of the career for women. And I think we're unofficially, but, like, I'm naming it now, I think we're going into this lean out era that is happening, like, in the last 2 years, 3 years. And I think it's enough of a movement that we're starting to see it as a society. And my question is like, what drove that? Like, what are the things?
I think women got beat up. I think COVID beat humans up. I think people got beat up. I think the family unit got beat up in COVID a little bit. Or like, I also raised my kids in the era where Mike and I both got up fully dressed and out of the house with heels for a decade. Mm-hmm. That's tiring. Like, I literally could not imagine doing that again post-COVID. So I imagine people who are also feeling the same way as me. Like, for Mike and I both to have, for me to have a job as good as I do in the town we live in, and the flexibility I have to work from the office and home, for Mike to work from home, that didn't exist when my kids were little. I think there's a level of burnout to that. Mm-hmm. I think there's a level of like, we got sold an American dream of money, and there's this meme going around of like, where's the money?
You know
we
what?
work so fucking hard, and we have never got to punch a clock. All the way through college, working until 2:30 o'clock in the morning, bartending, to working a salary job at all hours. I've never punched a 9 to 5, and I will probably never have the wealth of people who are educated. You know what I mean? Like, where's the money? So if you're not seeing the money and you're not investing in your kids, and the whole reason, like, one could say, like, where's the right? I think there's an element of that. I think COVID also... They also work certain people really hard during COVID. Like, I got worked really hard during COVID.
Yeah.
Like, because we were in construction and people were putting a shit ton of money into their homes. So, like, we saw residential go crazy and through the roof. I think there's a lot of reasons. I think we got beat up. I think it was really hard.
I think it was a pre-COVID, like, I think COVID was the straw that broke the camel's back, which is a reference that I really don't understand, but I understand its intent. The era that we're at, right, like the moment in time right now is a really loud voice of like men and women having an actual unified marriage, true equality. And once you achieve equality, you're like, okay, so I don't have to bust my balls. I can still get what I value out of the world. Both men and women can say that.
What I say is why you want to build a life together. A life that creates mutual value. Not so one suffers, you're creating a life. I think it's super interesting. I think we're going to have to bring more data in around how society has changed, how masculinity has changed. I think there's a question behind the question, behind the question, behind the question. I do think I was not raised to say you have to get married, you have to have, like, I think if I would have never gotten married, like, my dad would have been fine. Like, Mike asked my dad was kind of like, nah. We're good on that. Mike's like, no, I'm serious.
Like, Mike's so sweet.
But I'm raising my daughter to have a voice at the table. And if like the person that I'm not saying like every day of
and your sons to listen to the voice at the table of their female counterparts.
And my son's the right to also, I'm also seeing it go the opposite way a little bit. I've seen my sons be incredibly not treated the way I would expect them to treat someone else. By the ladies.
Yeah, so actually I was going to say this. Your
voice does not mean everything belongs your way the way you want it. And I think Mike Smith would actually say that about me too.
This could be a note on like the family values that is like lurking in the zeitgeist, but when I was on my birthday trip, shout out Brandon, still remember his name, the bartender, what he told us, and I was like really kind of, I've thought about this a lot since that night, was that he's our age, like we discussed that too, he and I did. He sees girls come in, they're out for a buck, like they are literally in the business of marriage, and it doesn't have to be like an old man. The way that they are discussing partnership with their peers on dating apps, and like he said, the way he explained how he sees it transpire in real life, I can't remember distinctly, but he was like, he sees it all the time. He hears about it from young men, and he witnesses the behavior where like the girls make 6 figures. The young women make 6 figures, and yet expect their male counterpart to make at least that much and buy them everything and give them this life and like, bitch, come on. You can't do that. Like, I'm kind of upset.
All in trade for the beef.
Yeah, like so she's
The beef.
her beef, her kukacha.
The kukacha. How much is the kukacha worth?
So is this the lapse of family values that the world is talking, like the conservatives
I don't know. We live here, so I don't walk. I mean, I might see 1 or 2 gold diggers a year. And I think to myself, that bitch has got an angle and she's 2 steps ahead of him.
God damn.
Oh, hot damn. This is not my jam, but I'm willing to learn.
Oh, hot damn. This is my jam.
Keep it partying till the a.m. What happens next? I got a new song for you. Justin Bieber dropped an album on July 11th.
I haven't listened to it, but he's
bad.
like, isn't he unhealthy right now? Like, is he not okay?
It could be part of the promotion.
Oh, fair. Good enough. Good enough. Okay, well, let's bridge this to the next episode.
I think he was unhealthy. He might be coming out of it, and they started to show the social. I think the social might be lapsed.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
I want you to listen to Daisies.
Okay, let's listen to it after.
Okay.
So we just got done talking about.
I guess we don't have the answers. We have hypotheses. We have
a next episode, Heather. We just got done talking about
next episode. Hold up.
The value of the kukacha.
The value of the kukacha. So Jess and I, it's a funny story. So we sat down last week and we were like trying to plan. We've been kind of brainstorming, since we started what happens next and all these things. Yeah. We started to put together a production calendar. I was like, what's the value of the kukacha? And Jess like, that's a hot take. And I'm like, I mean it to be.
Yeah.
Like,
and we organically got there just now.
The Bible even talks about the kukuk.
Okay, bring that research.
I'm not funded for that. That'd be like a fake news comment about how we thought women couldn't do shit till the 60s.
Just bring our data.
We'll bring the data. But the kukuk. So we want to talk about the kukuk. The kukukacha.
Okay.
It sounds like you know what it sounds like to me? Like a princess warrior. They took the word pussy when they kept calling people pussies. That's why we say badge of steel.
Yeah.
Right? Because for me...
Yeah, like people made it negative. And so therefore...
We're going to find our own symbol. We're going to find our own... So it's the kukukacha. So I said to Jess, what's the value of the woman's vagina? In this world, in this country... I'm smiling, but I'm telling you the amount of legal and illegal activity and then the laws that govern the blurred line between legal and illegal. Like, I just think the woman's vagina drives so much. I just think it's a very interesting subject between the rights the kukukacha has fought for.
Yeah.
And the birth control pill.
Yeah, so we talked about the rights of independence and financial independence, the rights... The pill, everything that we got. Yeah.
So we need to now get to
what we just got, kind of done concluding is modern day leaning out and as
we're leaning back. I don't say we're leaning. I'm going to say we're leaning back.
Powerful pause. Powerful pause was another. But I don't even think we're pausing. I think we're reassessing.
We're not fucking pausing. We're fucking reevaluating. We're women and we're fucking with it.
Yeah. But at the same time, I think the thing that I'm confused and left with is the next generation of young women are coming in
selling. They come in fucking hot.
Coming in hot. Well, here's the thing. I don't think it's the girls we are raising. I think it's the girls that are 10 years under us. And that's the discussion
what are they doing?
They're selling. They're saying I make 6 figures, but you have to make 6 figures. I
watch it on TV. She made her husband. So when
that's my point. It's so then she's selling her kukukacha. That's the breakdown of family values.
It's an arrangement.
It is an arrangement.
But is he accepting it? It might be the arrangement he's wanted.
And here's the thing. What Brandon at the bar was telling me is the boys don't feel like they have any. These young men don't feel like they have any choice. They have nowhere else to go. What I was given the understanding of is that the young women of today, the early 20s women of today, they are financially seeking first, hey, take care of me, even though I don't even need to be taken care of because I'm so fucking independent. I have a good job. Maybe I don't want to keep this job forever because I want to live the stay-at-home wife life. I don't know. I don't know where the things start and stop, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because they're all real facts, but they're different people. So I hear this and I believe him.
Yeah.
I do.
There's some,
1,000% more facts than what I can give from my perspective. He's seeing it regularly. That's a data point.
Audience.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
I think we need to do an anonymous poll. You and I are actually really good with surveys. Like, if we think about them, do you work? Do you want to work? Do you have to work? Is it an arrangement to work? Like, anonymously tell us your story. Like, how? Like, please. Like, I need to understand this. Like, this is important to me.
If we acknowledge that, like, there's an epidemic, and people are starting to talk about it, and I think that it's true, of male loneliness, and like, this is true isolation. I think there's a group of people that I tend to identify with that looks at incel culture. Like, I will say, I look at incel culture and say, well, get out of your house, and like, you know, I have some harsh opinions about, like, go get out there. But when they get out there, and maybe a completely different person who gets out there, bridge that with what Brandon told me is like, a dude is trying to date and he's an active, engaged person in society, and the only thing that he's being responded with is a woman saying like, well, what's your literal value worth? Like, what are you going to give to me besides all of the like love, care, and affection? I fall
in between a little bit of wah and extreme empathy.
Me too, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I think wah but I think both sides need to figure it out. And I don't actually feel bad for either one. And if there's this lost generation of men who are looking for connection, you can still pay $5 to get your dick sucked. I mean, okay.
I don't hate it. I think we're going to learn about it.
I feel individual empathy for anybody who is suffering. I do not feel a collective empathy for men at this point. I don't actually feel one for women. I think the data today told us that we're at a point where we all have to start making some compromises and stop looking at gender and men and women. And this could be a hot take, but like, let's fucking go. Like, and women, but there still has to be awareness of to your data points today. Yeah. It's the 80-20 rule. Yeah. Right? We have half the college educations, but not half the wealth, right? Like, that takes time too. And I think the progress we've made over the last 25 or 50 years has been more we've made than over 200 if you look through those papers. We should be making, I think, decisions quicker because information is flowing at us quicker. I don't feel bad either way.
I feel bad both ways.
Yeah, I do. But I don't actually feel bad. Out of all the things I've meant to feel bad about,
fair enough.
If the suicide rate, if this is derivative from the suicide rate that we're seeing, then I feel bad. If this is going to drive a bigger divide, then I feel bad. My hope is this is like a moment of contention in time.
The segue really comes down to, like, what are we going to explore? Can you tell me what we've learned today that matters to you with what we should explore in our next episode?
Well, I just think that we're women and we're getting to women who are middle-aged in our lives. And I think that we have been taught a decent amount about women's history and our role in society. And so I think that's just a really interesting topic.
It matters.
Almost like we owe it to ourselves. And to understand the landscape and share it, and then whether we don't do shit beside evaluating it. Yeah. Like, I think it's interesting.
Yeah. Women have had a unique role in our world, often diminished.
The cuckoo
increasingly
breeds
rising
life, and the cuckoo provides generally a sure thing.
Yeah.
So those two things, biologically, those two things are very interesting and probably stirred up conversation. And I'm interested to.
And it has an economic contribution to our society in ways that have been like,
tell me what it's worth.
Yeah. So we'll see you next week.
So we're not going to clink or close for this first couple episodes. I think what we're going to do is we're going to cheers.
So we'll just clink.
Is that the same thing? I was worried you were going to say that.
Oh, okay. So let's cheers. I'm so sorry.
Cheers, clink. I know. It's like, it's a... I want to
so
cheers.
Cheers.
When you cheers, you clink.
Did you catch that episode we did on comfort? Comfort is a sweatshirt, loungewear, sweatpants company that, as so far as we can see, an ethical, sustainable organization and something is emerging, growing, relatively new company. And we partnered with them to get you 15% off. All you have to do is go to comfort.com/stirreduppod to get 15% off one of the comfiest sweatshirts and sweatpants you can find. Thank you for listening to Stirred Up. If you like what you heard, please subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. Follow us on your podcast apps. Please send it to a friend. Leave a comment. Add a rating. Every little bit helps. We look forward to seeing you next week.